Hey, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Daniel Gonzalvez. He is the senior sales manager for RocketFuel Payment Solutions. And Daniel, welcome back. Good to see you again.
Hey, what's up, Steve? How's it going?
I'm doing very well. Thanks very much. And, it's really interesting when you look at what RocketFuel is about and what you're doing and how important cross-border payments in crypto can be for a number of people around the world. Those are unbanked and like that. But also it really is interesting as far as businesses are concerned. And I think that's where I'd like to focus our conversation on is what you're hearing from people, especially businesses, on how it's made easier for them to do business.
Yeah, so one thing that we've found, and this is actually recent, we have businesses that have multiple locations. For example, we have one in Mexico right now, and they have another location in the United States. And it seems like it would be the easiest thing to send some funds from one entity to the other. They're the same business, but for whatever reason, every time they send the money, it gets stuck. And, what do you do about that if you're relying on invoices being paid and you got to pay employees, et cetera? So by leveraging the blockchain and stablecoins, we can move that money cross borders seamlessly and extremely fast.
Yeah, and that seems to be a big one, especially for that unbanked community, because a lot of people will be working on sort of the gig economy where they get a job, they get paid for it, they move to the next job, and not having that infrastructure that you need where you would normally get a paycheck. This seems to be a much smarter solution for people to use.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, especially what we're noticing with our payouts product, and then using cryptocurrency to make a cross-border payment. If you have someone like a Fiverr or something like that, where they have a bunch of contractors in different countries and they're unbanked, and maybe they're a writer, a photographer, an artist, a voiceover artist, whatever the case may be, and maybe they make, $50, $100, and they need to pay the rent. How do we get the money? How does anybody get the money? Cryptocurrency solves that problem. And it's a big problem that we're facing with the traditional banking system, especially when we're trying to send money cross borders, and especially to those that are unbanked.
Let's talk about a cost, because in the research it shows that there is lower cost by using cryptocurrency, because as we know, there's a lot of banking fees that happen whenever you do anything bank wise. So is that another appeal for this? Is just the costing of it?
Oh yeah, it's a huge benefit. Depending on the currency that you're starting with, there's usually an exchange rate to go from one currency to another currency. Maybe there's intermediary exchange rates that you have to deal with, along with the actual cost of processing the payment, and then even just a wire fee, right? Just the $35, the $50 just to even initiate the wire. So how can we reduce all of that? By using crypto. It's a single FX rate, and if we're using a stable coin that's pegged 1-to-1 to the dollar, it's usually very, very, very close to the dollar, and that's what your fee is.
Yeah. Daniel, how do you get people to, especially businesses, to understand how crypto works and why it can be a big benefit to them? Is there still a big learning curve that needs to happen, or is that more sort of a myth than here in North America?
I think here in North America, the adoption rate for crypto is lower compared to the rest of the globe. Explaining crypto to someone who doesn't know a lot about crypto can be challenging, but it's very easy to understand from a high level. The most important thing to know that it's extremely secure. Using the blockchain, there's a bunch of people in the middle that verify the transaction for you instead of one big bank. Think of hundreds of small banks verifying the transaction, and it means it's safe.
Yeah. Where RocketFuel is concerned, just as we wrap up here, obviously you're looking at a lot of this to tap new revenue. There's still sources out there. I mean, you've got products that are on the market right now, but I would imagine that there's always the ability to create new ones in order to increase revenue.
Yeah, that's the beauty about being small and nimble instead of being, the 1,000-pound elephant in the room, is it allows us to build solutions based on customer needs, right? It's not a cookie cutter solution. We do have a cookie cutter solution, don't get me wrong. But for the most part, where it gets exciting, for me personally, especially, is to say, what problems are you having and how can we help you fix them?
Makes a lot of sense. Daniel, thanks so much. Good to talk to you again, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Appreciate you. Thanks, Steve.
All right, there's Daniel Gonzalvez. He is the senior sales manager for RocketFuel Payment Solutions.